Hello, and welcome to Business with Smith Co. Hello, and welcome back to Business with Smith Co. Today we're going to be looking at the challenges of starting up a business. Yay! So, a lot of challenges are, when you start your business, you'll often have to run into a lot of challenges. There are different challenges. Some of the challenges, if you do start a business, you might not run into, and that's, I guess that's lucky for you. You will see that. But these are the main challenges that entrepreneurs may face will face, most of them, when deciding to start their own business. So the main one is raising long-term finance. So an entrepreneur needs to spend time on a good business plan, because they need to convince investors to inject capital into the business. I mean, if they choose debt capital through long-term loan, they might find it hard to raise enough money as they are a new business, and they'll face regular repayments with interest as well. Choosing the correct source of capital is a very, very important thing to do, because it can affect whether you succeed or fail in business. I don't mean like as a subject in like university or anything. I mean like in actual business. If the business owner chooses to sell shares, however, in the company to raise equity capital, they may have to give away control, as shares do come with voting rights. They cannot sell too many shares, or they will lose control of their own company. And, that doesn't really have much of a purpose. What I mean by that is, it's very hard to set up your own company. It's all good to say, I set up my own company, but if you have to be in that position, that's not the best position to be in. It can be a good enough position, but it may not be the best one, and may not be the one you want. Because if you want to have control of your own life, well, selling more than 50%, well, actually more than 49% realistically, can cause problems in the department. Furthermore, they might also be limited to the amount of savings that they have, because obviously, once again, it's very important that you do have money to invest, because not only do you need a good business plan, but if you don't have enough money, then investors might think, if you're not investing enough, then why should I take the risk? Because that's the thing, banks will come after you, they're like, well, you owe us the money, while investors, they're going to be taking risks. They're going to be more likely to go, I think I'll how serious are you about this? And you could argue, well, that's a bit harsh. I mean, if someone only has, 200 in their savings, then why should you demand that they invest more? But that is how a lot of investors do react. Next, of course, is having enough working capital. See, a new business has no real credit rating or reputation for being creditworthy. The person may be amazing at paying back money that they borrowed or going to go to credit, but that doesn't matter, because at this stage the business has absolutely no one is going to trust them unless they do it based off just instinct. There's no previous history of, this business did a lot of they paid back all the repayments that they made, so there's nothing there. So if it is it's going to find it difficult to buy stock on credit. If it is selling stock to established retailers, it will need to sell on credit to compete with other suppliers. Cash sales might be low to begin with, as the business is unknown, and it may need to arrange a bank overdraft to allow this. Now, this can cause a lot of problems, and in some cases businesses will fail due to this. Then there is choosing the correct production method. The business needs to decide whether to use job, batch, or mass production, which all have advantages and disadvantages. Now, the decision will need to be based off levels of production, automation, staffing, and storage. For example, this YouTube channel is run by one person currently, Unfortunately, it's not a full-time job. So, well, you can't really work off that sort of thing. So technically, the videos are made in batch because they are made like they might. Let's say a video is made on a Tuesday, it might not go up till a Friday, and that sort of thing. So sometimes videos are delayed because it's like, well, you have to have video available on Friday. So let's say you've got an hour on Wednesday. This is what some businesses will have to do, especially businesses that only have one employee. They may have to, while they have their own business, work at other things, and that is what we have to do here. Where you've got this sort of thing where it's like, well, currently we're working at batch and that sort of thing. It's like, because you may need to, job production may not be a thing that you can do because if you don't have customers, then you can't really sort of do job production because you can't make it your full-time job. Then that can cause problems if that is something which your customers don't necessarily want. I mean, apologies once again if the quality of these videos don't stand up to standards that you want. We want to make sure that it's the highest standards we can achieve. Anyway, so getting on to the point, the main issue here is that a lot of different production methods, they expect certain areas of each of them, and that really does affect things, because if you need an investment in all those sort of things, then you may have to think about your ownership structure. Well, you will need to think about your ownership structure, because an entrepreneur will need to decide if it's going to set up as a sole trader, partnership, cooperative, or limited company. Obviously, we'll look at these in detail in a further video. So becoming a sole trader is, in this country, in my country at least, fairly simple. It allows you to trade almost immediately. Creating a partnership means the entrepreneur can work with a partner who has a different but complementary skill set, or maybe the same skill set, which they can also provide capital. However, a partner will take part ownership of the business and will expect to have input on all decisions. What this can mean, though, is that there is less of a workload, and it does benefit startup businesses if you are in a partnership that you can you can be in this position whereby you can say, we understand that we have to do some things to achieve certain goals, so you can agree, although not all partners do agree, which is just be wary of. Then comes developing a good brand, product, and a good marketing campaign. This is pretty much essential. The target market will not be aware of a new company's existence. It just won't. For example, no one is aware of this channel, unless YouTube recommends it to them. In general businesses, it will need to spend money on marketing and advertising. Sometimes, you just need to do that. The only other way really to do this without things is just have quite a lot of friends who need your product. Unfortunately, if your product is not something which is necessary, not a breakthrough, if it is like this, where it's just entertainment, then, it may not be needed. And it's all well and good for people to say, because, if something's needed, then, getting friends to talk about it, that's a relatively easy thing to do because, it's needed. But if it's not, then that can cause problems. So, for example, a business might need to use short-term gimmicks, such as sale promotions. Initially, for example, they may need to provide a 2-for-1 offer to boost sales, or pay for things such as YouTube ads, which hopefully we'll be able to get. Or not. I mean, it depends, I guess. We probably won't, let's face it. But, anyway, I'm gonna end this video here, end this audio here, and we'll talk about the challenges of starting up a new business, part 2, in the next video. So hopefully you'll join us then. So subscribe to the YouTube channel and view other videos, because that'd be good. It's helpful, and because it takes time to do this, so Anyway, thank you for watching, and hopefully you'll join us next time. Why do I keep repeating myself? It's very annoying.